Alright, finally catching up on The Lord of the Rings of Power Season 2. I figure I'll just talk about the last 2 episodes in one video. Since my laptop was having problems, I couldn't talk about episode 6 when it came out. So, spoiler warning, if you've not watched episodes 6 and 7 of The Lord of the Rings of Power Season 2 and you're planning on it, then don't watch this video because I will be talking about what happens in them in detail. If you have watched them or you don't care, then you're good to go. Alright, so as usual, I'm gonna divide this up by character arcs. I'll start with the ones that are only in episode 6, because for a couple of them, there's really not a whole lot to say. Like, example, when it comes to the Harfoots and the Stewarts, only thing really worth talking about is the fact that I'm not really digging that whole, like, Poppy and Merrimack romance, I guess. I just don't see why it's necessary. I mean, I like Poppy as a character fine enough, but I don't really care about Merrimack at all. So yeah, I don't get it. But meanwhile, the Wizard has a straight up Empire Strikes Back moment over here with Tom Bombadil. Because Tom's like, all right, here, we have this whole crater of wooden branches. You can go pick your magic staff. But then the Wizard senses that his friends are gonna be in trouble. And he's like, I gotta go save them. And Tom's like, don't go over there. It's a trap. You gotta stay here and complete your training. I was like, Yoda and Luke. Empire. We don't see what the Wizard chooses, although I'm pretty sure we all know what he's gonna choose. He's gonna choose to save his friends. I guess that'll be part of the finale, because yeah, the finale's gonna have to cover a lot. I mean, we're gonna have to at least face the Dark Wizard. Yeah. Now, touching on Numenor, we remember Elendil was placed under arrest, so now he's on trial. Dude, he's such a badass in this scene, because he stands by what he did. I love it. He's sticking to his guns. He's like, no, Miriel is the true queen of Numenor, not you. And I was like, what a badass. And so they sentenced him to trial by huge water beast. I love this too. He's gonna go in, and then Midia volunteers. She's like, I'll take his place. She has that right, so in she goes. And I was like, okay, she is in the right. Pharazôn is an asshole, so she should pass the trial, right? And sure enough, she totally does. Yeah, she is seen as in the clear by the Valar. So now she's got some followers again. That's good for her. Wonder how Pharazôn's gonna take it though, because he looks into the Palantir, so I was like, okay, this is not gonna end well. I hope Miriel doesn't die. I fear for her, man. I really do, because I want her and Elendil to end up together. I don't know why. I love their romance. Probably because every one of their scenes, I'm like, come on, just kiss already. I don't know, maybe I'm a sap, but we'll see what the finale does for them. Now touching on the big shit. And poor Celebrimbor. Oh my god, see, This is the point where we are supposed to feel so bad for him because he has fallen so far under Sauron's deception. I mean, beginning of episode 6, we see that Sauron has now manipulated Celebrimbor so much that he's becoming irritable and standoffish, forgetting Mirdana's name. Mirdania. Uh-oh, I forgot her name for a second. I'm okay, I swear. But yeah, he's becoming very distant. He's not nearly as poised as he was in season 1, for example. And so when Adar's army finally marches on Eregion's doorstep, this is where, alright, I love this. Sauron totally tricks Celebrimbor. He casts a spell or whatever he does. Makes it look like it's just peaceful out there, in Celebrimbor's eyes anyway. So it's like nothing is wrong, which what I notice about this, there's a level of detail here that I love. Sauron makes it look like the sun is out, when in reality it's actually nighttime, and Celebrimbor doesn't even question it. That tells me anyway that even Celebrimbor's perception of time is way off, because he's been cooped up in his chambers for God knows how long. It's just crazy. And this is actually where episode 6 ends. Like, Celebrimbor goes back inside, and then we see Sauron, he turns around, and the spell goes away, and this is where the war begins. We see Adar's army launching the catapults, and it's about to go down. And as this war begins, Celebrimbor is still up there in his chambers, completing the 9 rings of men. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're done now, right? 19 rings, done and forged. And right when he sees that mouse on the ground, I was like, okay, this is where he's gonna find out for real. I do love the fact that he does eventually figure it out on his own, because Sauron comes in, and Celebrimbor's like, watch what the mouse does. And that is when all is finally revealed. All of it, that fake mithril that he gave to him, which turned out to be Sauron's own blood that's all pitch black and shit. Gross. And he's like, you are he. And Sauron's like, I have many names. I was like, god damn. I really do gotta give it up to Charlie Vickers as Sauron and Charles Edwards as Celebrimbor. They killed it this season. They really do. And Mirdania does die. That was sad. Actually, the worst part of that was the Instagram post. The actress made a post about it, and Charlie Vickers just left a comment simply saying, my bad. I was like, dude. That's hilarious. And of course, you know, it's too late for Celebrimbor at this point. Sauron's master plan has already been set in motion. It's too late to stop it. This was back when he was still forging the 9. And now Sauron has to resort to straight up blackmail. He's like, finish the 9 and I will spare your city. Oh man, all cards on the table now. I'm sparing no expense. Again, just feeling so bad for Celebrimbor. So innocent. Kind of. But no, he has to stop this somehow. And when you see him put his thumb up into that machine thing, whatever that is, and it pans up, I was like, oh no, he's gonna cut off his own thumb. I can't watch. Desperate times, desperate measures, I guess. Jeez. And he does, you hear the squelching. I was like, ugh. I wouldn't have done that, I'll be honest. I probably would have thought of something else. And the war is still raging outside. The army from Lindon comes over, that's all the elves, led by Elrond and King Gil-galad. They finally come over, so now they're in the fight. Meanwhile, back with Galadriel and Adar, remember I was like, there's no way that Galadriel is actually ever going to agree to team up with Adar. But when they're talking at the table and negotiating, I was like, wait, is she actually gonna agree? Like, really? This is gonna be temporary, of course. Then Elrond comes in trying to negotiate, and they're like, this is the last time you're ever gonna see her. So Elrond's like, all right, well, at least let me say goodbye. And then he kisses her, and yeah, I was like, whoa, what is this? Where is this coming from? I didn't like it at first, because I never sensed any romantic feelings between the two of them. Never once. And then we learned that it was so Elrond could slip Galadriel the key to get out of the handcuffs, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, that was still weird, though. Yeah, that was just really jarring to my brain. Really threw me for a loop. And so Galadriel escapes. She meets up with Arondir, who's also there. Eventually, she meets up with Celebrimbor, who has escaped his chambers, and he gives her the 9 rings of men. He's like, get the hell out of here. Go. Because as soon as Sauron up there finds out that they're gone, he's gonna... Yeah, you should leave. Yeah, she probably should. I did find it kind of a waste that Damrod finally comes back into the season after, like, being set up and that was it. Like, he was introduced in one of the first episodes of the season, and then he was never seen again until now. He comes in to do a couple of things in the fight, and then he dies. He's killed by the elves and Arondir, and he's bleeding out, he's laughing on the ground, and he's dead, and that's it. I was like, what was the point of him at all? What, to introduce heavy metal into the score? I wasn't a fan of that. Yeah, I guess that whole thing was kind of wasted. Oh well. Jumping over to Khazad-dûm, we have King Durin III still sinking deeper and deeper into his greed. This is the part where his son, we saw this in the trailer, he's like, take the ring off. And he tries to do it himself, but then the king slaps him away. I mean, he is gone. And so Prince Durin IV and Disa, they have to take matters into their own hands and just try to stop the other miners themselves. And yeah, I did find it kind of strange that Disa had to straight up summon a Christopher Nolan movie to do it. Yeah, she straight up sings like the theme from the Dune movies, and then a cloud of bats comes in and scares everyone off. That was weird. Just wasn't a fan of that. That's just me. I did think that Prince Durin's rallying speech was badass, though. He's like, yeah, we're gonna go over there and help everyone because our king's lost his marbles. Who's with me? Khazad-dûm! Love that shit. And then Narvi comes up. He's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't go, because now our king's truly gone fishing. He's threatening to unleash the Balrog on all of us if we go. And Prince Durin's like, god damn it. Sorry, Elrond. I know I promised I would help you out, but my dad won't let me leave. Which, yeah, talk about the biggest tease ever. We saw this Balrog in episode 7 of season 1, and we've seen it all over the trailers for season 2, but we haven't seen it once yet this entire season. I think we heard it once, but we haven't seen it at all yet. So yeah, the finale's gonna have to cover that too. That's probably gonna be a long episode. Might be the longest one of the season. Probably will be. And so Elrond and his elves, they're all fighting the good fight, and the messenger comes, he's all bloodied up, he's probably gonna die. And he's like, yeah, the dwarves aren't coming. Sorry. And yeah, you see the look on Elrond's face. He's like, well, fuck me. That sucks. Because they're all under curfew now, I guess. And you also see Arondir fighting. He's fighting Adar, and then Adar straight up gut stabs him. I literally out loud on my couch, I was like, no! I was surprised. I didn't not. Is he dead? I mean, it's pretty hard to survive a gut stab. But then again, you know, no one knows for sure. We'll see in the finale, but God, I hope he lives. He's such a badass. Then again, if he dies, he could be with Bronwyn again, so there is that. I don't know. We'll find out in the finale. And then Adar has Elrond, and we remember that Elrond still has Nenya, Galadriel's ring that she lent to him, but now Adar has him, and he throws him down, and the last shot of episode 7 is, oh crap, now Adar has Nenya. And then it cuts to black. I was like, it's not looking good here. Yeah, things are looking pretty dire. That's straight up classic Lord of the Rings, dude. I dig it. I really do. Alright, favorite quotes. From episode 6, this one again comes from Elendil, when he's talking to Eärien again, and she's telling him to just swallow his pride and go through with it, to which he says, if after all this, all you see is pride, then there are no words left to speak. I love that because, yeah, it's not just about pride, it never was. It's about his firm belief and his loyalty. I'm telling you, that's why he's still one of my favorite characters. And from episode 7, of course, it's gotta be Celebrimbor's one about light. This whole speech that he gives, I just thought was awesome. Light endures and is mightier than strength, for in its presence, all darkness must flee. Yeah, that just feels like classic Lord of the Rings, doesn't it? I wouldn't be surprised to find out those words came from Tolkien himself. I don't know if they did, but that's how much they sound like classic Lord of the Rings. I love it. So yeah, in the end, these last 2 episodes, episodes 6 and 7 of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power Season 2, they were pretty crazy. I do have some pretty glaring problems with this season as a whole, so far anyway. I'll address them in my video about the finale, but I mean, of course, I'm still enjoying it overall. And again, this finale's gonna have to be long and just nuts, because it's got a lot of ground to cover. Can't wait to see it. It's exciting. Finale time! So, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Season 2, Episode 6, Where Is He? And Episode 7, Doomed to Die. Have you watched them yet? What are your thoughts on them? And what are your theories and predictions for the finale? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, Thank you for subscribing. Peace!